Hey guys, so I finally finished watching Star Trek Picard, and since the whole internet has kind of taken a dump on it, I thought I might just come to you guys as unbiased as possible and review it. Because the truth is now, a lot of these people just go into these shows just ready to maliciously tear it apart without being fair in their criticism. The only people who I think have done a really good job analysing the show is of course Red Letter Media. Everyone else has just relentlessly attacked the show to appease their audience's preconceived notions. So here's my little quick review, and I'll try to be as fair as possible. Also, just a quick spoiler alert, and make sure you like and subscribe to the Young Cynics. Picard is a show about an old guy with a brain disease. He goes on a mission with some stoner lady, an Aussie ninja, a sexy Latino pilot, Mary Chaney from Vice, and a girl who is a robot or something. They run into a dorky looking Romulan, his evil sister, while some digital zombies walk around a box. The show has violence like eye removals, shooting, euthanasia, decapitation, and blowing up. And they say fuck in it.
Sheer fucking hubris.
Is it good?
No. A couple of episodes here and there have highlights, but no episode on its own stands out. I'd say if I had a favourite it would be 5 or 6, but still they weren't that great.
Is it bad?
Kind of. The only episodes I say were flat out bad was the finale and episode 2. The problem is that the story is just all over the place. There are so many exposition dumps you simply can't focus on because you're just getting pummeled with all this nonsense.
Does it portray Picard's character?
Unfortunately, yes. This is definitely more in line with the movie version of Picard. He barely uses any of his diplomatic skills and often acts impulsively or sometimes irrationally. Picard was always very measured, however here he is often highly emotional in his decision making. The strange bit where they go to Free Cloud and he is in character was extremely bizarre to me, and simply an excuse for Patrick Stewart to play dress up. He never gives stirring speeches or has an episode where he has to sort a moral quandary. It's always flying away from something while we cut back to the boring Soji plot.
What was the bestest stuff?
The visual effects, the show would actually work alright as a Star Wars show or another concept entirely, a swashbuckling crew going on a space mission. However, when you chuck a 94-year-old guy in there, it becomes muddled and confused and doesn't mix very well. I liked Rios, he was a cool character, although very much cut from the same cloth as Han Solo was.
What was the baddest stuff?
I think just the clash between 90-year-old Picard and this massive sci-fi action show. It was a strange combination. Some of the ideas were alright, but when you set it in a Star Trek universe, it makes us wonder what has happened to Gene Roddenberry's original vision. The plot is extremely messy. The characters are literally just there so they can be used in action scenes without any development. Some of the love stories are really forced, like at the end when 7 of 9 and Raffi have some sort of connection and it lasts as long as the gay kiss in Rise of Skywalker.
Does it ruin Star Trek?
No, of course not. The show is getting a second season. It has good IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes scores. To me, nothing can ruin a franchise unless it actively undoes the previous installments, making them ultimately null. And the old shows are still there, they're still canon. However, it does ignore Gene Roddenberry's original vision for Star Trek in a very non-subtle way, and has been this trend in the new Trek shows. The movies have been big action movies, but they still had a certain heart to them. This feels like a random sci-fi ideas being thrown in randomly with Picard in it to justify it being Star Trek. So that was my really quick review of Picard. I didn't go into it too much because a lot of other people have already done hour-long rants on individual episodes. So I'd just say go watch Red Letter Media's review if you want a more in-depth and intelligent look at the show rather than being a straight-up malicious one. But thanks for watching, guys. What did you think of Picard? As always, remember to like and subscribe to the Young Cynics, and until next time, bye.